Hello. Welcome to another DCU Daily. We are here, and we are going to have a lovely show for you all today. We are going to be doing a lot. I don't know why the music isn't working. Sorry, guys. But we're going to be talking about box office stuff, tons of favorites. In regards to that, we're going to be talking Sinners today, how it finally got brought back for the 70 millimeter IMAX release, and of course they're going to have a shit ton of quick hits. Don't worry, they're not going to be half an hour, Caleb. Don't worry. We're going to be getting into a bunch of reviews today. We have reviews for Legend of Ochi as well as Thunderbolts. And it's going to be a spoiler review, so keep that in mind for the people that have not seen it yet. And then, of course, we're going to get into, wonderful DCU daily stuff. Not a lot today. We're going to be talking about the Kingdom Come documentary and a whole bunch more. So why don't we get our favorite boy, Ryan Gosling, to come in and tell us all about the news and why he's Knuff.
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always number two.
All right, Mr. I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding. You're kidding. I can't open the envelope without the...
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne. I like that.
And you're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see chords.
Right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What the world needs now.
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wow.
Anyhow, I think there was a bit of a delay there. I don't know. But hi, this is already going off to a great fucking start. So hi, I'm John. Very nice to see you. We have Liz here. Liz, why don't you start talking?
Hi, I'm also here. I don't know anything about a delay one way or the other. Hopefully we didn't have one. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the 30 seconds of this program that we've got for you so far. We're going to be talking about Thunderbolts. We're going to be talking about The Legend of Ochi. We might be talking about Cheech and Chong's last movie, even though I don't think we added it to the schedule. But I saw all three of those this week. And I'm going to let you know whether or not you should be seeing them as well. We've got Caleb in the chat. Hello, Caleb. Dan is going to be popping in here and there, but he's a little wrapped up right now with some things. All you need to take away from Thunderbolts at the moment is stop saying Bob. And back to you, John.
Yeah. Amazing. But let's get into the first bit of news that we have. Let's talk about Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible. Apparently, they are tracking up for the biggest Memorial Day in box office history. Now, we know about box office records in regards to Tom Cruise because he broke records 6 years ago for Top Gun Maverick. That was the biggest Memorial Day box office weekend in history. And now Tom Cruise, he's like another one. So our boy is going to come in and rock the box office for Memorial Day.
All the money.
But I think it's mainly...
I was just going to say it has been confirmed that this... I was just going to say that this has been confirmed. It is officially, this is 100% supposedly the last Mission Impossible. So everybody's going to be seeing this. Again, it's Memorial Day weekend, so people are going to be seeing it multiple times within the weekend probably. It's going to make all the dollars. It's
like literally this is the perfect box office weekend because you have something for kids and families with Lilo and Stitch, which is more recent IP rather than Snow White and doesn't have any controversy attached. Well, I mean, it had like a 2-second controversy, but that was like years ago. So, and then Mission Impossible, you have, the adult crowd, it's PG-13, so that's definitely better than an R-rated movie of perfect action, set pieces and all that of PG-13. You're getting the teens, you're getting the adults, so you're getting pretty much everyone. And you're probably going to get some indie movies. You're going to get some cinephiles to come out of the woodwork, be like, "Hey, I'm too good for Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible, so I'm going to go see pretentious indie crap instead." So you have everything. But yeah, so the Lilo and Stitch is heading for 120 million. I remember last time we talked about this, it was only 100 million, but now it's 120 million. Got that a little 120 rather than 100, and now Mission Impossible is tracking to be 80 million. I mean, I think that speaks for itself. Let's see what y'all y'all are saying. Hi, I'm also here. Thanks, Caleb. Yeah, it is a great start. Fuck. But Steven Ortega says hi in the chat. Liz is on tonight. I thought it was Dan and John tonight. No.
Sorry.
And Caleb it's the last one. We promise. Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Like, oh, it's the last one. We 100% definitely promise it's the last one. So, so they were, yeah. We're not going to be talking about that, Caleb, but I can quickly mention it now. Apparently, the King of the Hill storyboards got released. I have never watched King of the Hill. I've only seen an episode or two. I know my friend who is a huge King of the Hill fan is dreading it, so we'll see if it's actually good. But yes, I did see those. From a guy who's never watched the show, it looks okay. It looks a little cheaper than what was done before, which makes sense because animation is just going down the shitter now because people are stupid. So that's how it is.
I mean, the show is entertaining enough, so we'll see. It seems like Mike Judge just likes to keep bringing back stuff. He tried it with Beavis and Butthead, and now he's going to do this. I don't know. Okay.
Hey, Beavis. I heard the Beavis and Butthead revival was really good. So, who knows? But Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible are apparently going to break fucking absolute record. Probably different types of records than Top Gun Maverick because it's combined movies, and I think Top Gun Maverick is just the record for the one movie. So different breaking of history. But yeah, I think I still have no plans to see Lilo and Stitch. I will say the preview was cute. But the thing is, I'm I could just go watch the original. It's probably gonna be better anyway. But I'm sure this will introduce a new generation to the wonderful, cuddly, well, not so cuddly Stitch.
Oh, he's so cuddly and fluffy and wonderful. It's very exciting.
Anyway. But yeah, I think it's no shock. After Mission Impossible, the previous one was kind of crumpled because of Oppenheimer. It makes sense that now it's showing fun. It's not a part 2. It's not for good. It's the final reckoning. It's apparently the last one. So I bet they're saying that just so they can make up money for the last one after it kind of bombed. So oh, we swear it's the last one in order to get people to the theater, and then they'll backpedal, be like, well, it's the last one for now, and then it's but then 2 years down the line, Tom Cruise is just I want to come back.
Yeah, he has to when he comes up, when he dreams up another wild way to nearly unalive himself, then he'll make another one. So on and so forth till he's 90.
Till he's 90. Thank you, Tom Cruise. We love you anyway, but I'm just saying.
We like him.
You know what?
Throw that word around.
Hush at you. Anyway, so moving on to the next big news story, we have apparently Sinners. If you missed it in IMAX, it is coming back. Well, we know Michael B. Jordan wasn't coming because, fucking Haley Steinfeld ripped his neck out before he could do so. But yeah, so any of you missed it, you can get it in IMAX. Once again, thank God. I'll try and see it. I make no promises because the nearest IMAX theater to me is like an hour away. And I love Sinners. I don't know if it's worth an hour to go to the nearest movie theater. I'm just saying. But Liz, as someone who also loves Sinners, would you go out of your way to try and see it in IMAX or no?
I saw it in Dolby. I like IMAX. I prefer Dolby. So I mean, I feel if you haven't seen it, it was made for IMAX. So please, if you get the opportunity, yes, do go see it in IMAX. I encourage everyone to see it. But going out of my way, especially, it's hard enough for me to see movies as it is right now. I mean, granted, when it comes out on DVD, I'll definitely grab it and so I can have it for all time. But no, I'm not going to go out of my way to see it. But again, if you guys haven't, you want to see it, you're interested in seeing it, I highly recommend doing so in the IMAX as intended by the creator.
I mean, your boy, Michael B. Jordan already missed the Princess Mononoke IMAX, so please, guys, don't miss the Sinners IMAX just for him. Go out of your way and see it if you want to see it in IMAX. But yeah, that's very exciting. I kind of agree Dolby is a little bit better, but considering half the dialogue was almost inaudible to my deaf fucking ears, maybe I'll try to go chance it. Maybe I'll see maybe I'll get one of those fancy closed captioning glasses so I can fucking understand everything.
Well, they have those things available at the theater you can get.
No, I know. I usually to ask for them, but
yeah,
I'm I'm not deaf, but at the same time,
you're hard of hearing.
Even in the cinema, they have the sound effects and the music way higher than the dialogue, and the dialogue is it's like a subway speaker. It's like they haven't fixed this since 1960, and they don't plan on ever fixing it, and it's another language, but it's not. And yeah, or a fast food drive.
That might just be your theater though, to be fair.
Maybe, I don't know. Or my hearing just sucks. But I'm curious if you guys are going to go see it. Please leave it in the comments below.
And if you can see it in IMAX, do so.
But Enterprising already saw Sinners, as did Caleb. And Enterprising will be seeing Thunderbolts later in the month. But we are going to be talking about that Enterprising. We're going to be going into spoiler territory. So keep that in mind. If you don't want to be spoiled, then either mute it or head out. So we don't want to spoil anything too major for you. But Liz says she needs to talk about spoilery things, and that's fair because there's a lot to talk about.
It's hard to talk about Thunderbolts without spoiling it. So sorry,
yes, but that's okay. But yeah, Sinners IMAX, very wonderful. And yeah, so somebody also was saying IMAX just announced the Sinners is coming back to theaters for additional screenings, and the AMC website is crashing. I'm about to lose it. So apparently the AMC site is crashing. So, which is great. It's great to hear because that means people are still going to see this movie and especially wanting to see it in IMAX. So that's great. It shows not only the cinema is not totally dead, but the idea of seeing it in such a fucking huge experience like IMAX is also, wets our whistles and has us eking back into the theater for paying fucking $25 a ticket and $40 for popcorn and soda. So that's also really exciting. But that is kind of it for the news today. I mean, a little bit. We're gonna be kind of transitioning a little bit into, we're gonna be talking about Legend of Ochi. Well, Liz is gonna be talking about Legend of Ochi. So, Liz, why don't you get into that? I'll leave you to it.
Sure.
Let you talk about it. Legend
of Ochi. It was okay. I guess it's supposed to be considered a kids movie, but it's really more for tweens and teens. The storyline is pretty much identical to How to Train Your Dragon. The father figure, Willem Dafoe, believes the Ochi are the enemy. Apparently, it's a small little island community where these people live, and it's a farming town. So he's blaming, the slaughter of livestock and the decimation of farming livelihoods to the Ochi. So therefore he assembles this band of like misfit local teenagers to go out into the woods and try to kill the Ochi. His daughter is a part of that band of rebels, and it goes seriously wrong. She ends up finding a little baby Ochi who is injured, realizes that he's not a threat to her, tries to save him and return him back to his family, and adventure ensues. But the one thing I will say I did like about the film was that it had like total classic, and again, if you're of my age, like 80s adventure vibes. Like even the cinematography, it felt like it was shot in like 1986. I felt like I was watching some old, classic film that, it just gives you all the feels and all the nostalgia of like, oh yeah, I remember the Ochi, watching that after school or whatever. But as far as a movie was concerned, it was mid, gang. The pacing was rather slow. It wasn't anything overly exciting. Again, the plot itself was 100% How to Train Your Dragon, even to the point where like the parents are separated and the mother goes off to live in solitude, and to like learn and research the Ochi. It was the whole. If you guys are interested in it, check it out. But it really wasn't anything special to write home about, unfortunately. So that's really all I have to say about it. I really don't have much else going there, John. So, I mean, yeah, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a decent score, but like I said, the pacing of itself, it was rather slow. I would have liked to have seen, maybe a little more action. So that's your popcorn. What is it called? Popcorn meter, 66%. So that's, yeah. Enterprising. Harry and the Hendersons was definitely more entertaining. That's still one of my favorites of all time. So go see that instead of Legend of the Ochi.
That's
or, like
a weird
go see How to Train Your Dragon.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, I still kind of want to see this. I mean, we'll see. What is the better How to Train Your Dragon movie coming out this year? The remake or this movie?
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. But that is it for the news. We're gonna now be getting very slow news day, very slow. Or Dan cut out like 15 of the other links that he's like, you know what? I'll give him a break. We don't have to talk about like the 16 Indian Bollywood movies I want to talk about and weird business things we don't care about. So, but now we're getting into quick hits. Hold on, gotta get the music, and there we go. Let's But first things first, we are going to be talking about MoviePass's next big bet. Apparently, a fantasy box office app. Like a fantasy sports league, the app mogul will allow users to compete on box office results, per screen averages, sentiment score, awards, and more. So we're bringing gambling into the movies, guys, kind of.
Yep.
Thoughts?
The AMC app had something along those lines when it first launched, and I tried to participate, but there was like too many factors involved. So I'm sort of curious about this. I'm interested to see where I would place if I were to participate, but I'm also not much of a gambler, so I probably won't pay it any mind. But okay, good luck to all those who play.
Then next up, apparently, more box office stuff. Chris Hemsworth and Halle Berry's Crime 101 lands President's Day weekend 2026 release. The LA set heist movie will also star a huge amount of people: Mark Ruffalo, Barry Keoghan, Monica Barbaro, Corey Hawkins, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Nick Nolte. Thoughts?
I read this and I was like, 2026? Why are we talking about a streamer? Or is it a streamer? Is it going to be in theaters? Maybe in theaters, but I don't know. I feel like it's
yes.
Too early.
Well, it's going to be by Amazon, but it's going to open in a theater.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Hopefully it's good. Great.
I mean, it has the worst Chris, so who cares? Anyway, Jurassic World Rebirth Empire magazine covers Unleash the movie's mutant Distortus Rex dinosaur. Thoughts on this? Does this make you more or less excited about Jurassic World Rebirth?
Pretty much the same. I'll see it. Hopefully it's good. That's about it. The name is lame, but
yeah,
okay.
Pretty much. But apparently, moving on to more Jurassic World Rebirth stuff, speaking of, is here to conjure the wonder and awe of the original Jurassic Park. Apparently, Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey promise that it's going to bring back the wonder of the original film, and it's going to make us inspiring and make us fall in love with dinosaurs all over again. Thoughts?
I hope so. That would be nice. It would be a nice change.
Cool. I think I'm just gonna stick with Wicked for Good with Jonathan Bailey.
Oh.
So yeah. Anyway, so I know everybody was thinking about this. Everybody was like, "Who's the next Pope gonna be? And is it gonna be Stone Cold Steve Austin?" But unfortunately, I gotta break it to you guys. It's very unlikely that Stone Cold Steve Austin will be named the next Pope. What are your thoughts on this? I was really disappointed.
Would that be something
this,
if someone just threw his name into the conclave and then all of a sudden he got all the votes? That would be wild. Who would have seen that coming? Amazing.
But that's how it be sometimes.
Did you see Stone Cold in the Pope Mobile?
That would be wonderful.
Tossing beers out?
That's a shame. That's a shame. Next up, apparently going back to Chris Hemsworth, apparently he's going to star in submarine thriller Subversion for yet another Amazon MGM. I guess he has a contract with them or something. Patrick Bollrath is directing the feature that is due to shoot later this year, and it is apparently going to be Die Hard on a submarine, which is just under siege, but sure.
That's really dumb. It's a really dumb statement. I'll see it. I hope it's good. I hope it's available in theaters. It sounds like it's going to go straight to streaming. So, okay. Good for you, Chris. I don't think you're the worst, Chris.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so Robert De Niro not being the grizzled tough guy, but actually a caring and wonderful father. Robert De Niro shares love more for his daughter Erin after she comes out as transgender. I don't know what the big deal is. Good old Bob De Niro being goated.
Good old Bobby. I mean, I think it's wonderful, and I appreciate that celebrities like Bob, like Dwayne Wade, like Marlon Wayans, like Magic Johnson, like Jamie Lee Curtis. I appreciate that they're not shying away from something that is such a controversial subject, and they're just being good parents and sticking up for their kids. That's awesome. Good for him and his
very
daughter.
Wonderful thing.
Yeah.
But apparently RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, Chappell Rowan, Ice Spice, and more among celebrity judges for season 10. I don't watch RuPaul's Drag Race, so I don't really care. But do you? And if you do, are you excited?
I've seen episodes here or there. I'm not devout, but I do enjoy the program, so good for them. Ariana has been a celebrity judge on there before. I believe Chappell Roan has as well. But yeah, it's a delightful show, and if you guys enjoy it, enjoy it.
Cool. Apparently FX releases Shogun Season 2 details, sets production start date. Hiroyuki Sanada, and I'm probably mispronouncing that, and if I am, I apologize. Cosmo Jarvis will be returning. Apparently it's going to be set 10 years after the first season.
Oh, interesting.
So, thoughts on this?
Again, I have not seen the first season. I'd really like to. I've heard nothing but wonderful things. Cosmo Jarvis is just, who would have thunk that he would be...
Speaking of Robert De Niro.
Sort of like every other project. Yeah, really. I mean, good for this guy. He's just blown it up. I mean, he has entered the stratosphere and he ain't coming down, gang. So cool.
He's
very excited.
Emmy-winning drama. Fucking, he was, on screen with Robert De Niro. He's going to be in a Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah.
He was in one of the best movies I've seen all year with Warfare. So the man is killing it. The man
pretty
is
awesome.
killing it. So congrats, Jarvis.
It's pretty cool watching
I
somebody's
assume-
career just skyrocket.
I
It's
mean,
great.
Richard Chamberlain is probably pissed from heaven because he kind of shit on the new Shogun, but what are you gonna do? Anywho,
What are you gonna do?
$1 billion Spy enlists a really good cast of Tony Goldwyn, Rufus Sewell, and Justin Theroux. Russell Crowe's son, Tennyson Crowe, will join his father in the core thriller as well. What are your thoughts on this?
It's pretty cool. I like the cast as well. I would be interested to see how Tennyson does. So yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. It seems like they're only hiring dudes right now, though, so it's going to be a sausage fest. But all right,
I don't care. Fuck it.
Me neither.
Fuck the Beck Fest. Anyway, but that's unfortunately it for quick hits. We got it in under 10 minutes, guys. There we go. I know.
Hey now.
So not a
Setting records over
30-minute. So not a 30-minute fucking quick hit for you.
Mark your calendars, Caleb.
Shut up. Just kidding. We love you, Caleb. We just love teasing you. It's okay. But moving on to MCU Weekly. We are here. It's not just going to be Thunderbolts talk, but we are going to be talking about a couple other things, mainly Jeremy Renner being based. Here he is saying apparently he turned down Hawkeye season 2 because he was offered half his salary for season 1. Do you think I'm only half the Jeremy because I got run over? Which is, I fucking love Jeremy Renner so much. I fucking love this man. He's so based. But honestly, yeah, that makes sense. Bro was in like the biggest fucking movies of the last 10 to 15 years. He's been nominated for Oscars. He's been in Oscar-winning productions, and he's like, I got my fucking legs run over because I'm a good person. You're really going to give me half my salary? Fuck you. I'm out of here. And you know what? Good for him. And fuck all the fans that are shitting on him because they can fucking eat a dick. Anyway, Marvel Stan, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I am curious as to what their explanation was as to why they I mean, it's a demotion, right? It's a slap in the face, really. It's an insult. But I'm curious to know if that really was what they were saying, like, oh, we just don't think that maybe you're physically capable of doing the things that we would need you to do, or what have you. But it's a really strange move on their part, because especially because again, we're amping up Avengers stuff. We've got all these other things coming down the pipeline. You would think at some point they're probably going to invite him back for some of the films. So why would you do that? It's all very strange to me, but good for him for standing his ground and saying, I know my worth, you know?
Yeah, even the only thing I can think of is that it's going to be like more of a passing of the baton of like, it's going to be more about Kate Bishop, how she's going to be the next Hawkeye, how she's going to be in the Champions movie, if that's ever going to fucking happen. And I assume he's probably going to be in it for less, but even then, bro, that's still bullshit. Like, again, he was part of, I know everyone makes fun of it because like, oh, Black Widow and Hawkeye, they just have guns or gymnastics and arrows. It's like, they were there. They were an important part of it. And I will say the only time that the Avengers lost was the movie that Hawkeye wasn't in. So, you know, I'm just saying the 3 times they won, Hawkeye was there. And the one time he wasn't, half the universe got yeeted. So I'm just saying. But I love...
Man's got a point.
I love actors who know their worth and are like, you know what? In this case, like, it's not... I don't think it's just like, the man doesn't need to fucking work ever again. Like, the man's a millionaire. He doesn't really.
He just
need
released
the money,
a book. You know, he's doing his own things.
He has his own app based around himself. The man doesn't need it, but it's just like it's the principle of it all. It's like it's not just like the money. It's like you're only seeing me as half of what I am. So it's like, really? Come on now. That's ridiculous. That's silly. Stupid. And honestly, I'm glad that, you know, similar was we were just talking about Sarah Michelle Gellar the other day, who's also winning because she has integrity and is turning down the god-awful, probably going to be god-awful. I know what you did last summer. She's also winning because her hubby is going to be in the movie, and he's going to be bringing in half that salary for her because marriage. So she's winning too. And he's laughing all the way to the bank. He's like, I still got the fucking millions you gave me from all these other movies and shows. So it's like, I mean, I'm a great actor. I have money. I don't need you, to be fair. So it's like, bye. So I appreciate that. We love our boy Jeremy Renner. We 100%. Love our boy very much. So, but that's not the only MCU weekly news that we have. We apparently the Fantastic Four First Steps IMAX intro got released, and it's clearly supposed to be very much like at first like an old school like 10-9, you know what films were back
retro
and
countdown. Well, this is IMAX does this countdown at the start of every one of their films.
Oh yeah,
so they just Fantastic Forward it, and it's cool. I dig it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fun. So yeah, I think that's very cute. It looks good. I like the transition from like the old school movies because it's like it's going to take place in the 60s, and then it like becomes more and more like that heavy sci-fi vibe that Fantastic Four is going to bring us. I'm not going to be seeing it in IMAX, so this was nice to see, I guess. And remember, it's presented in Fantastivision, guys. I don't know. Like I mean, Dolby does something kind of similar. Sometimes they have like an interview of like right before the movie. I remember when I think I went to go see Sonic or something, they had like an interview with Barry Jenkins for Mufasa. And it's like pretty much circle jerking why Dolby is better than regular, you know, movies. So, you know, whatever you got to do. So, yeah. So Hosea talking to Liz. I watched the first Accountant movie. Amazing. Checking out Accountant 2 this weekend, and you just replied. So
yeah,
I was trying.
I hope you like it. I hope you like it. They have the Airstream popcorn bucket. I picked that one up. Couldn't help myself. It's very nice quality. So if you enjoy it, get yourself one of those sweet popcorn buckets too on your way out.
Yeah. So Jose like, whoa, 5-Ash saying he likes something. Is it my birthday? But also, you know, I would also like to join people. I mean, Hosea in the chat, Elite Z's in the chat. 7 Manual 7 been here before, but nice. Obviously, Figure Drawing Enterprising. We've been talking to you guys for a little bit in the chat. Hello, Hosea. But Figure Drawing addressing like the whole like Hawkeye thing. This is not Marvel, mind you. This is just Disney, not even real Disney. It's just the penny pinchers, the accountants. I told them to go fly a kite. I mean, just at the insult of the offer. So we didn't see eye to eye on it, adding that he's not ruling out a return to Hawkeye in the future. So this is, remember, by the way, going back to the Hawkeye thing, it's just, you know, for the show. Like season 2, it's probably going to all be about Kate Bishop now. Which
again would also make sense. Like maybe that's what they were trying to say to him. Like, hey, like you're only going to be in it 50% of the time at this point because we're going to shift our attention to this other character. But I don't blame him for it. And he even says in the article too, he's like, this takes like 8 months out of my year for me to do something like this. So you need to pay me accordingly. So again, good for him standing up for himself. But who knows what reasons they gave. Yeah, exactly.
So, but the last bit of MCU weekly stuff before we get into Thunderbolts, the 3 things coming, well, Thunderbolts, technically we are early on Thunderbolts because technically it's coming out tomorrow. We're just getting, you know, early buzz. We got to pump those numbers up. This is rookie numbers in this racket. But Fantastic Four coming out in July. And then suspiciously, there's this show that nobody has talked about. One of these has barely received any promo, and that's Ironheart that's coming out
Hasn't been
now
advertised worth a damn. Yeah.
in about a month and a half, and no trailers, no
Okay.
TV spots, no
Yeah.
posters, nothing.
Yeah.
Wow, they have a lot of faith in this one, guys. Is this one
I
of the
almost want to watch
things
it out of like pity.
that, like, as a Marvel fan, you're like, I'll watch it because I like Marvel, or are you like actually maybe excited for this?
No, I'm not excited because I know nothing about it. I've seen nothing about it. Again, they haven't advertised it worth a damn. Again, I'm almost compelled to see it just because I feel so bad for how badly it's going to do, but also because I'm sure it's going to tie like their projects do. But again, I'm not caught up with half of the Disney Marvel programs just because, as you guys know, I'm a movie watcher. I'm not a TV watcher. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get to it. Maybe I won't. Probably won't. But here's hoping I don't miss out on anything important.
As this guy said, it's a Disney Plus series that was shot in 2022
Yeah.
and reshot in 2024. This is either a sleeper or more likely a complete mess. I'll hope for the best.
Probably
I think you're
a mix of both.
Spider-Man is probably going to be the sleeper, and this would be the complete mess. Which I feel a little bad, but at the same time, Ironheart is a character that was introduced and nobody really liked, and she hasn't received that like Miles Morales pump of like being released on the big screen or anything like that, where they've become a household name, because she was in Wakanda Forever, like for 2 seconds, and nobody really cared. So, and she's getting her own series now, and nobody really cares about that either. So Riri Williams is just kind of this like limbo character. We're not a lot, because Kamala Khan and Miles Morales, they were characters that were kind of hated at first, but then became their own and became beloved in their own ways. Riri Williams has not gotten that, from what I know from the comic book fans I talked to. So yeah, that's not surprising in the slightest, because you know, it's just a weird character, and it just shows the last gasps of the Chapek era, which, you know, Snow White was part of that era, so that was also you know, not great either. So it's a little sad, but then at the same time I don't feel too bad. It's I'm torn a little bit, but yeah, so it's like, oh no, the big corporation doesn't make money, but at the same time it's like, she's not like a terrible character or anything, so it's like, I don't know.
Again, we'll see if the show ends up tying into other Marvel films and stuff, then yeah, we'll be disappointed because we'll have missed out on some information, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. That do be how it is. But let's get into more exciting things at least for Liz, because I'm sure she's absolutely 110% finally stoked to talk about this, because you've been fucking jerking this movie off for the past 3 months. So,
first of all, yes, I have. Second of all, we don't need to frame it in that way, but sure.
I mean, am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. No, are you going to tell me that I'm wrong? She came down in a bubble, Doug.
But you also don't need to say it like that. That's all. Yeah.
Thunderbolts. Also, wait, before you start, let us get this thing up. So, here Enterprising, if you're still watching, and if anybody else still watching, and you don't want to be spoiled, Liz is going to be talking spoilers, so please keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Then I bid you adieu and go full Marvel stan, Liz.
Listen, before I get into the actual spoilers, I will just say, not that I was disappointed, but it certainly wasn't the film that they marketed as, that I thought that it would be. It wasn't as laugh out loud funny as I was hoping for. It was very much like the Thunderbolts. It was kind of mixed and confused and trying to find its footing. Now I'm going to get into the spoilers. Taskmaster was gone immediately. immediately, as quickly as she arrived, she was out, gone, unalived, bullet to the dome, sayonara sister. And I'm in the theater like, oh damn, like she's for real gone, like, because she's on the movie poster, like not this one, but actually she is on this one. So what? So right off the bat, I was like,
In like the back
okay.
left corner, we knew this bitch was
Yeah.
dying.
But still, but I was like, but like immediately, like immediately she's gone. Also, my biggest issue is I really don't care for the Valentina character, for Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character. They're trying to make her like a Waller, but with Waller, you knew right away that she was somebody important with authority, who was calling all of the shots, who had, you know, the government behind her, or whomever was her overlords. Whereas this one, you know, Valentina kind of had been operating under the radar. You weren't sure if she was a government official or some sleazy CEO, and it turns out when she kind of got a bigger role in this film, you understand, you know, like, oh, okay, so she's kind of like Lex Luthor, but she's also a crooked politician at the same time. She's like the Secretary of Defense or something. So she tries to form her own new Avengers squad. Well, I should say accidentally. She tries to unalive all of them using one another. So that's how they get together. But it just, I don't know. I don't know, gang. I also told John and Dan that the ending was very much that of like Wonder Woman 2 for me, Wonder Woman 1984, where it was like the end, you know, they defeated the bad guy with like a hug, and you know, with like an emotional moment, and you know, like connecting on like on an emotional level, and a, you know, or we've all got problems, man, and let's just hug it out, and like we'll get through this together. And I was like, I'm just in the theater like, okay. So not that I have anything wrong, like I have a problem with that, but at the same time, like I'm here to see a Marvel movie, I'm here to see some action, I'm here to see, you know, some crazy stuff get blown up, and people flying around, and it wasn't as amazing as I was hoping it would be. So I will say I loved Bob. I loved Bill Pullman's sons. I can't remember his first name. What's his first name, John? Uh, um, he was great. Lewis, thank you, Lewis Pullman. I really liked him. So he played both. I mean, Bob, Sentry, and the Void. I guess at different stages of his character's development. I thought he was great when they finally revealed Sentry's look. Looked fantastic. Dyed his hair, put him in a gold suit. Was a big fan. But again, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Valentina, found her way out of trouble. The whole premise of the film was that Bucky was trying to take her down. They were trying to impeach her and get her out of her role in the government because she had been doing these backdoor deals, these shady things with these vigilantes, or as they call them, mercenaries. And none of them knew in the beginning that they were all working separately and individually for Valentina. So at the end, I was like, okay, great. You guys, you're together. You formed a team. Now get her out of there, impeach her ass or kill her. Red Guardian wanted to unalive her. Bucky was like, no, we've got to take her to trial. Da, da, da. Okay, great. And she found a way to weasel out of it anyway, and turns around and says, oh, look, I've assembled the new Avengers. This is what we've been looking for. This is what we've been waiting for. We need a hero. There's Lewis. And, you know, on the one hand, Yelena went up to her and was like, we own your ass now. Like, we're doing you a favor by not turning you in. So cool for them, I guess. But again, me sitting in the audience, I'm like, no, I want this bitch in cuffs. I want her in a jail cell. I want her to, like, I don't care for the character, because they did a really horrible job of selling her to us, building her up to us, explaining her position, her role in this universe. And now all of a sudden, she's this Waller character who's so important and such a badass that we have to keep her around. I'm just not buying it. So that was a bummer. I thought the chemistry amongst all of them was great. However, they played off each other really, really well. Their timing was really good. It was fun to watch them interact and see how they reacted to every situation. So that was great. I'm looking forward to more of that. The asterisk thing, I told you guys it meant nothing. I told you guys it was because they couldn't settle on a name. I don't know why they focused so hard on the asterisk for the marketing towards the end. That was a really stupid move, in my opinion, because that's exactly what it was. They called themselves the Thunderbolts, but none of them agreed to call themselves the Thunderbolts. Then they were going to be the new Avengers. But as we know from the end of Captain America, Sam Wilson was already tasked with creating the new Avengers. So there's a whole thing in the end credit scene about that, about how you can't have two new Avengers, and now they're fighting over the copyright of the name. So we know Sam Wilson has assembled a team. We just don't know who is a part of that just yet. And then I will say also, spoiler alert, in the end credit scene, we do see the Fantastic Four, the Fantastic Four ship enter our atmosphere. So as John said earlier, he's like, so they've already spoiled the ending of the Fantastic Four film by basically saying they're ditching their world and coming into ours at the end of Thunderbolts, which is what we saw. So whether or not that's exactly true, it's looking that way. But yeah, I did like it. It was entertaining. The first half I enjoyed a lot because, again, there was action. The team was coming together. We were starting to have an understanding of what was going on, again, vis-a-vis Valentina. But it was just kind of disappointing because it was a whole lot of like the feels rather than action, or, so I'm glad that the Rotten Tomatoes and the popcorn meter scores are high. I think that's great. The pacing was good, I will say, at least, for that. They kept it moving throughout. But again, it was a lot of like, it was like an ad for therapy, which is also great. I think everybody should go to therapy. I think that should almost be like a requirement if you want to like enter society. But it was just a little too touchy-feely for me, whereas I like a smash and shoot 'em up. So it is what it is. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do in the future in the MCU, especially when we get Sam Wilson's new Avengers involved as well. So I would say check it out. I mean, Dan always asked if I'd be willing to see it again. I would be willing to see it again. I would like to see it again, just to see if there was something here or there that I had missed. But again, it was good. I'm also disappointed that Taskmaster's gone. Just bye.
Yeah, but she was not real Taskmaster. She was just some broad.
Yeah.
Like, that's who, like, because Taskmaster is like an Avengers level threat, and they just were like some brainwashed chick from, 30 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, and I agree, Five Ash. I never pay attention to the scores either because it's all subjective at the end of the day. But again, I also agree with John. Everybody was saying it's the best Marvel film since Endgame. I don't know that I agree with that. I still think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was slightly better than this. But at the same time, those were all characters that we were already familiar with and storylines that were already well established. So this is slightly different in that regard. But again, I enjoyed it. It was mainly all about Yelena. So again, when we talk about comparing this to like Suicide Squad, where the first film was all about Will Smith, this one was pretty much all about Yelena. So, if that's what you're interested in, go for it. Great. Like I said, I enjoyed it, but if you're not a Marvel stan, I could understand why you might be disappointed. And John's going to ask me for a rating. I'll give it a 7.5. Yeah. I'll give it a 7.5. It was enjoyable enough for me to want to see it again.
It is actually funny because like most of my friends have been like making fun of this movie, and pretty much like almost all of us have had like no like expectations whatsoever. I think 3 of my friends have seen it so far. The first one who saw it, he said it was great. He's like, this is actually good, grounded Marvel stuff. So that's a plus. My friend who pretty much hates most Marvel movies was like, it's not bad, but it's not good. I liked the ending. That was pretty much him.
Well, and I will say too, I think also the issue for me, again, not that Sentry or the Void wasn't a really cool character. Like they were all powerful. It was pretty miraculous the things that this guy could do, but it gave me Thanos vibes because he was going through just disappearing people. And again, I'm like, but we've been here already. And he wasn't actually like unaliving them. He was putting them into some realm where they were just reliving like the worst experiences of like the biggest like traumas. They just had to relive their trauma over and over and over again. So that's not great. But and again, spoiler, we get everybody back again, much like Thanos with the snap. So I was like, we've already done this though. So that was also kind of a bummer because again, he's this all powerful, he could do all these crazy things. And instead he just was like, whoop, I'm wiping everybody. Like, so, okay. It was, I would have liked something a little different personally, but he was a cool character. Sure. I like Sentry. He looked great. Lewis was awesome. Stop saying Bob.
I mean, Lewis Coleman's he's, if I had a nickel for every character named Bob who was the secret greatest part of the movie, I would play by Lewis Coleman. I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Anyway.
Yeah. And Steven, I mixed on it because I saw it and it's my opinion. I don't, just because the reviews are positive doesn't mean that's going to change the way I viewed it or how I felt leaving it. So
what about Bob?
I'm mixed.
That's another.
I'm mixed because I am mixed. I enjoyed it, but I can understand why some people are disappointed with it. And it certainly didn't meet the expectations that I had for it either. So I hope that answers your question.
But we do have a little bit more stuff to talk about in regards to Thunderbolts. Well, apparently, because of this movie, Bucky and Loki are the only characters to appear in every phase of the MCU.
And I've
kind of like how Lance Henriksen, Bill Paxton, and one other one have been killed by an alien, a Terminator, and a Predator. It was Bill Paxton and Lance Henriksen and maybe one other one. So it kind of reminds me of that. But I think that's kind of cool because we love Bucky. We love Sebastian. We stan Sebastian Stan.
We do. And yeah, Hosea, the soundtrack was all right. I mean, it's not a Ryan Coogler joint, so it wasn't really anything to write home about. Again, I left Sinners and immediately was like, I need this soundtrack. I didn't feel that way for this one. It wasn't anything. Ludwig Göransson. I mean, bro. Yeah, there was like maybe like 2 songs that you'd be familiar with in the whole thing. It wasn't anything exciting. But yeah. And yeah, again, I have met both Loki and Bucky, so very cool to see that.
So yeah, we finally learn all about Valentina Allegra de Fontaines. So I know you kind of described her
really
as like sort of Lex Luthor.
Well, we just so here's the thing: when Sentry touches anyone, you kind of go back into the deep traumas of your mind, and so he can see what you've experienced and then you relive it. So at one point he does touch her and we find out that she grew up in Italy and her father had done something wrong or had gotten mixed up with the wrong people, and they came to their home, her childhood home, and killed him, unalived him right in front of her. But that still really doesn't tell us much. It doesn't tell us what her dad did, what he was mixed up in. It doesn't tell us where she ends up, because at one point the killer says, "Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of Valentina." So again, we really never see anything else after the fact. So it was still very, very vague. Like, again, she keeps talking about how we need superheroes, and her whole thing with her Oxcorp was trying to remake the super serum and remake these enhanced humans. And again, Sentry is the only one that she successfully does so, and then it blows up in her face. So I don't feel that's accurate. That says we know all there is to know about her now, because we certainly don't. There's still a lot of questions there for me. And again, Steven, I've answered your question, so I'm not sure why you're asking me again. So yeah.
Yeah. And we did talk about this in regards to the new Avengers, where that's going to stand. Allegedly spoiling Fantastic Four, Does this make you excited for Fantastic Four and like any upcoming Avengers movies,
Listen, I
barring like
am.
excitement for
Yeah.
an Avengers movie?
I mean, listen,
But,
I am excited for Fantastic Four. Again, as you know, I love it when the worlds finally come together. I think they've edged us a little too long with this shit. I've been waiting forever for the X-Men to come into the fold. Manuel asked if I care about the characters after the movie is over. Yeah, I do. I still care about the characters. Like I said, they had really good chemistry together. It's really fun seeing how they all interact with one another, as their personalities are so very different, but they do have that common ground of kind of being lost, being these people that want to do good, but always kind of end up making the wrong decisions as far as that's concerned. So they have a lot to kind of, they're constantly walking around feeling like they need to redeem themselves in some way or another. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. I'm looking more forward to seeing, again, how everybody comes together, how they all end up, mixing in. So we'll see what happens with that. And yes, I am still a Marvel stan, just because, Marvel's allowed to have some shitty movies. Lord knows DC has plenty of their own. So yeah, I'm going to continue to be a Marvel stan, just like people are Star Wars stans and everything like that. I take the good and the bad, and I recognize that not everything's going to be a hit. Again, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy the film. I do enjoy it. I would watch it again. I absolutely would. It just was not what I was expecting. That's all. And that's okay.
And also, to the person who fucking wrote this article, the MCU is Earth 199999, not 616, because 616 is the original comic book universe, not this one. So,
and isn't that like don't they say that in Lilo and Stitch too? Don't they refer to it as 616? Or is he he's Experiment 616, I think, something like that. Anyway,
626.
Okay.
Anyway,
you're so
apparently, it's the longest post-credit scene at 2 minutes and 54 seconds.
Which was nice. Awesome. Which I will say, I like a longer post-credit scene, because for me, the whole point of a post-credit scene is we should be getting some fucking information. So when it's just some goofy shit at the end, I'm like, you all wasted my time. I could have been peeing right now. You know what I mean? So at least this one, like I said, they give us the glimpse with the Fantastic Four, how they're getting connected. We find out that Sam has assembled his own new Avengers. I'm happy with that for sure, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. But very cool.
Exactly, Caleb.
But apparently the director, Jake Schreier, whoever the fuck he is, reveals he didn't direct the second post-credit scene of Thunderbolts. I was there when it was filmed. I can say that it comes from the set of a production that might be starting production right around now. So that kind of confirms that it's from the Avengers Doomsday set. Because
I should also mention as well. So Valentina bought the old Avengers Tower, and that's where they have been setting up shop now as this new Avengers team. And again, because Yelena said she wanted to be more in the spotlight, she wanted to do hero type shit. They've kind of, in the post-credit scene, they've given everybody a new look. So Bucky has like some coiffed hairstyle that looks terrible. Ghost has hair and makeup done. They cleaned up Red Guardian. So they're really trying to make them, more like PR friendly. So that was kind of funny to see as well, the changes, as they've slowly, started to form as a team. But they're still rough and tumble at the end of the day. So, again, we'll see what happens in the upcoming films.
If you don't want to see what Sentry looks like, then look away now. I kind of already scrolled down.
He looks so good. He looks real
There's your boy, Lewis Pullman as Sentry. And I will say, it's typical Marvel design. It's overly designed, and, it's like too many lines and all the things, but it looks good for what it is.
He looks
just
really...
like, why do we need 7? Like, this is with the Superman suit.
Yeah.
With every suit. Why do you need like unnecessary fucking lines everywhere?
He looks good, but because it breaks, so that way they don't have to pad it with all these muscles. They're still giving you an interesting profile, interesting silhouette, without having to beef him up and make him look ridiculous. So I think it's fine. I will also say though, now seeing this post-credit scene with the Fantastic Four, rocket coming into view. I can only assume that the post-credit scenes for the Fantastic Four are going to be them when they land in this world, and them maybe meeting somebody like Bucky and Yelena for the first time or something like that. So I'm looking forward to that. So if anything, this has given me more to look forward to. So they've done their job.
We do have Bulge. We do have a Sentry Bulge. So
pretty nice.
That's all I really care about. We got a Bulge.
Good for you, Lewis. Good for you, buddy.
Yeah, he has a very happy wife. Anyway, so
you would hope so.
You know, that's gonna be it for MCU Weekly. But don't click away. We still have a little bit more, of course, like the main piece of resistance of DCU Daily. So don't click away, but please like and comment and subscribe. We love to hear from you guys. In fact, I'll go over some comments right now.
Yay!
Dr. Doom has to be in the Fantastic Four post-credit scene, probably. Sentry Bulge, where's Dan? Monumental Comics coming in. Hello, Nico as well. TC24. Writing is a lost art. The MCU nowadays, they've mastered hiding that with their trailers. Why? Okay. But yeah, so Hosea being like, I'm glad Taskmaster dies, lol, JK. I don't think you were kidding, buddy.
I'm almost wondering if she's gonna come back and vis-a-vis the multiverse. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
Yeah. So but we got to do the thing. All right, here we go. Hi guys, welcome back to DCU Daily. Hello, thank you for coming. We're gonna get that fucking MCU garbage out of here. We're gonna be talking about DC news. Love to see it, love to hear it. Wrong name graphic, but that's okay. Here we are. But Liz, where are you, buddy? There you are.
Hello. I was snacking.
That's okay. But Liz, how you doing?
Thanks, Monumental Comics. You're awesome. Hi guys, how's everybody doing? What are we excited to talk about today? Hey Jalen, how are you doing, boss?
Yeah, what are you excited to talk about? There's like 3 news stories, but what are you excited to talk about, Liz?
I was trying to
anything.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know anything about Kingdom Come other than a lot of hip hop artists really like it because they had a whole panel at Comic-Con about it, about Eminem's producers and DC from Run DMC. So that's pretty much all I know. Like Jay-Z's Kingdom Come was pretty much like sold to him based on the Kingdom Come comics. So it's a great album, but I hear it's a really, really important comic. So cool. So we can talk about that and maybe I'll learn some things.
It's considered one of, if not the greatest DC Comics comic of all time. So apparently, so if you want to watch a documentary screening at Music Box Chicago, so if anybody's in the Chicago area, Legend of Kingdom Come will be screening on May 10th at 7 p.m. Limited tickets are still available, so you guys can go watch that. I'm going to eventually be doing, I'll wait until like the day this comes out, and then I'll do like a full review of it, because I have been I promised one weeks ago, but because I was part of the Kickstarter, I shilled enough money. I got some posters, I got a Blu-ray, I got the special Emerald edition, but you do get a link to a portal, and you can watch the documentary there. So I will be watching that hopefully soon enough. But this is exciting. So because I keep getting updates about the Kingdom. Liz, if this was actually available to you, would you watch it, or do you not really care about the Kingdom Come?
I feel like I would need to read actually read the comic, because I feel like I would just be completely lost watching the documentary. But But
would say
hey,
read it.
if it explains things for dum-dums like me, then great, I'll watch it. I do love a documentary, as I've said time and time again. But I would be interested in reading it only because I have heard nothing but positive things about it. And again, how influential and groundbreaking this comic has been for a lot of people. So I wouldn't mind checking it out. How big is the thing?
Yeah.
Is it is it gonna take me a while to get through it?
Well, I mean, I would get it, but it's upstairs in my room, so I can't get it. But it's like about like that thick. It's not very thick at all. It's not like Watchmen. It's like where it's like a fucking phone book. But it's like, I don't know, like that, maybe that big, depending. I have the deluxe version, which is a little bit bigger because it has like art, like pencil sketches in the back and stuff like that, and like an alternate ending. So, but yeah, I mean, Legend of Kingdom Come, absolutely brilliant in every sense of the word. It's one of my favorite comic books of all time. It's one of the greatest DC comic stories of all time. So yeah, fucking go read it. Like, if you guys want to, you can get the box set, but that's not going to be available until Superman comes out. So I would say just go to your nearest like Barnes and Noble or go to your nearest comic book shop and try to find it there, because I would say you need to read it as soon as you can because it's brilliant. And there's not a huge influence on Superman, just the logo, on all honesty. I would say if you really want to get a feel for the new Superman movie, read All-Star Superman and read Superman for All Seasons, because those are the main inspiration for the film. Whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow is kind of, sort of, but not really. I think it's just because like it's like a heavy like Lex Luthor influence and all that. I apologize that people keep buzzing me. But yeah, I would say you can, if you're like a super fan and you were like, fuck it, I'll shill another $100 for the pre-order of the box set, then absolutely go for it. I'm not. I own all 4 comics, so it's like it feels kind of pointless to get the special box set. Since I already own all of them and I have a deluxe version of Kingdom Come anyway. So there's that. But yeah, so for anybody in the Chicago area who can see this, go watch it and tell us what your thoughts are. But if you're not, then we can move the fuck on. But apparently, Maria Gabriela De Faria, sorry, shared that a big action scene with the engineer in Superman took 3 days to film. I can only imagine that that's probably the baseball stadium scene, because they were kind of there for a while. And apparently James Gunn played "Oh Lord" by Fox's Shazam during the shoot. I don't know what that song is. I don't know who that artist is. So I can't really say a lot about that, but what are your thoughts on this whole long ass process of this entire fight scene? If you have any thoughts on this.
No, I mean, I'm glad. I guess it means they're doing it right. I'm just looking up the lyrics for "Oh Lord," because I think it's a song that I know, but it also looks as though it may not be. So, nope, not a song I'm familiar with. But yeah, I mean, cool. I guess that means that they really took their time and they were thoughtful about it and wanted to make sure it looked good and they were doing things right by the fans. So that's exciting. Again, I'm still really looking forward to this film. I hope it does a bill, and yeah, good for them.
Yeah. But also I wanted to share Monumental Comics $5 super chat. Thanks, man. All you said was for the breakdowns. I don't know if you mean like
mentally
break
or
down and beatbox. I mean,
mentally, emotionally,
ages ago. I don't know if you want me to like break it down now, like beatbox or like break down like movies. I don't know what you mean, but like thanks for the $5.
Thanks.
We appreciate that, and we appreciate you for that $5 whole. So thanks, bro. But
Jalen says the song's really good, so that's good. We'll have to give "Oh Lord."
I'll take your word for it, Jalen. James does love his music.
Music.
We saw that from all the Guardians movies.
Yeah.
I figured it would be a cheesy Monique Rupley, hello there. I figured it would be a cheesy 70s song. He said a prison escape to the Pina Colada song. Yeah, that's...
He really did.
Yeah.
He really did. It was great.
That works. But next up, we have apparently more Superman.
Dude, that backpack is sick, man. I saw that and I was like, you know what? Good for them. That backpack is sweet.
I will say this hat looks really fucking cool. Again, I'm not a big hat guy, and the
it looks
logo
good.
looks kind of weird, but like these look baller. I'm loving this like tactical kind of backpack. It like if I wore backpacks, I would fucking wear it, but I don't really use backpacks that much. I'm not going to school. I'm not hiking, so like I would, but like it's just like I'm supporting the movie. Like I'm not, it's.
Oh please! I'm sure that backpack is a dime at least. Holy cow, that thing's gonna be expensive.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's probably gonna be like $100 fucking.
That ain't no JanSport, kids. Yeah.
Looks like John Kent's knapsack. Is that a new era cap? No, it's no cap. It's the new cap. Anyway, I'm not apologizing. James Gunn masters needle drops. You're right, Caleb.
He does. He does. He and Tarantino, I think, hands down, are really smart about their soundtracks.
I will also say he's a horrible person and a mediocre director, but David O. Russell also has very good music taste. So, there is that as well. But yeah, so if you guys want a backpack or a cap, then it's going to be coming. It's going to be coming soon to the merch store. Not going to be available just yet. The fountain pens checked. They're not available yet either. Probably going to cost like a fucking $100 for that pen. If it's more than like $10, I'm not buying it. So yeah, new merch. Very exciting. So Superman director James Gunn, a new spin on Lois and Clark's relationship and a flawed Man of Steel. I know all the fucking, Snyder cultists are like, we already saw that with Man of Steel. Sure. But fuck you. So James Gunn is talking about their relationship while speaking to ABC. He's in love with her. She's the one that needs convincing in the relationship. It's not him. You really see where he needs her in his life. The film is a personal journey for Superman. That's entirely new. He's a character who is pretty damn good, but flawed. Yes, that's pretty obvious. He's a public-facing character. He's a symbol. There's added by Corin Sweat, there's a presentational element to it because he does want to present an image of common authority. While he doesn't always feel that way, he always wants to make other people feel that way as Superman. And that's where I sort of took the spirit of Clark. He's this big presence, but he's desperately trying to be as small as possible and as quiet as possible. So what are your thoughts on all this? Does it intrigue you about the character, Liz, or
no?
Is it like, or you're just like, whatever, I'm already excited, I don't care about this?
No, like I said, Superman is my favorite superhero of all time. He's kind of one of the things that got me into fandom in general. I've never given a fuck about his relationship with Lois Lane. Couldn't give a flying. Couldn't care if she was there, if she's not there. Could not care less. So, okay. Sounds good.
That wasn't the only thing that they talked about. It was like,
no, I know.
The presence of the character as well. Like, I thought that's like kind of like an interesting idea. Like, because I know there's always going to be a way to take the character. I mean,
it's what
Goyer tried to do something interesting with Man of Steel, but it like failed miserably, whether that was the direction from Zack Snyder or not. I feel like they were trying to do that with Man of Steel. Oh, he's mainly BVS as well. Like he's like this guy that wants to do good, but like the world doesn't want him to do good. But I feel like the way they did it came off as very either extremely pretentious or half-baked. And it didn't help that the movie that they were trying to do this in had so many other elements that you're like, you kind of missed it between all like the Batman and Lex Luthor and Wonder Woman and the Bullet subplot and the Lex Luthor with like the paying the people in prison and like all the like every plot line in that movie could have been its own movie, and it's jumbled into one Frankenstein's monster, and it ended up just being blast. So I feel like we're gonna take this. It's an established world. It's not new. It's not bright, new, and wonderful like the DCEU was, with the exception of like Batman and Wonder Woman, who were kind of there, kind of not. This is like fully established, super established, no pun intended, of all these people. And so it's like, how does he reflect that? How does he like navigate that? How does he navigate the relationship? How does the relationship factor into this? So I think that's all very interesting way to take it. And I hope he succeeds in that aspect rather than kind of falling short of what has come before. So, you know, that's just my thoughts on that. I don't know if I'm just blowing hot smoke. But yeah, I love Superman. Okay, guys, like we all love Superman here. Mm-hmm. But we're gonna go through some comments. WB just re-signed their merch deal. They've been using these guys for DC since like 2004. All right, that's kind of cool. But BioWorld continues 20-year partnership with Warner Brothers ahead of James Gunn Superman. Yes, there was that as well. A lot of shit from the lowest comment. It's the most iconic relationship in pop culture. Liz just want the Superman action. LOL.
No, it's just never. I've just never made that. You know, I feel the same. You know, it's like the same thing with Spider-Man and you know, because yes, I understand you have to hide your identity. You're trying to protect your loved one. Da, da, da. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm just numb to it now. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's how you see it. That's fine.
Sorry, gang.
But Superman aura farming on the dark side of the moon. Okay. What irritates me is the idea that a purely good, well-intentioned guy is perfect when even Reeves Superman wasn't perfect. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we've like all of them have dealt with like the flawed Superman, not like the flawed Ubermensch. Let's go with that. Like that's kind of what Superman was. And all the people that say he's boring and not interesting, that's just like people that just like see, oh, this guy has a shit ton of powers or shit ton of power, and that's it. That's all to the character. When you really need to like look beneath the surface of this guy who's lost a lot, who has all this power and can do pretty much anything he wants with it. I mean, which is paralleled with General Zod and Superman 2 and Man of Steel, and kind of Nuclear Man in Superman 4, where it's like he can go down that path but chooses not to. And even in the best like evil Superman stories, like Superman the Dark Side, where he was raised as Darkseid's son, or Superman Speeding Bullets, where he was raised by the Waynes and became Batman, he eventually becomes the good, well-intentioned Superman. It's just the shitty stories like Injustice that keep him like evil Superman, because they're written by losers. So, you know, that's beside the point. I agree with you, Liz. I really hated Superman and Lois in the Snyderverse. Gotta say, so annoying and whiny.
No offense to Amy Adams,
I'm just gonna say this.
Shit.
I know nobody's gonna shit on me for this, but I know like maybe regulars who are non-regulars who are gonna shit on me. I fucking hated Amy Adams as Lois Lane. She 100%. Was not good. She was not Lois Lane. She was,
and
Amy
I did
Adams
not believe the chemistry. They had no chemistry between one another whatsoever. Absolutely.
Here's the thing. I saw what they were trying to do, but it failed miserably. Like both of these people, like Lois Lane is like this workaholic, like has no time for close friends type of thing. And Superman, Clark is this guy who's never let anyone in because he's afraid of his power. He's afraid, like, you know, they're going to die like John Kent, blah, 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 blah.
And again, you guys,
these two cold people meeting each other,
right?
But it failed.
And again, I haven't read the comics. I haven't watched the other things like Smallville. I've only seen the films. So I think that's also part of my reason that I could give a fuck about Lois Lane and Superman's relationship and that whole dichotomy, just because I don't have that history. I only have those versions that we've been given. So it's the least interesting aspect of Superman's story to me personally.
Yeah, I think and I think like I know you have like 400 quadrillion shows to watch, but like Superman and Lois is the best like representation of.
I did watch the Dean Cain. I did watch the Dean Cain one when it first came out. I did see that show years ago. Couldn't remember all about it other than Dean Cain.
I mean, yeah. But Superman and Lois like really understood the healthy relationship and between the two.
I'm working on it, Jose. I did start it. I'm working on it.
And how that like affects them and all that. So, I mean that show was so good. All 4 seasons were great. It's the only Arrowverse show where it was continually good and stayed good and was always good. So good on them. But I think that's it. Like it's definitely also, I don't blame you for not liking it. Is essentially what I'm saying. I don't blame you.
Is that the Superman I'm not attracted to? Because we've talked about this too. Or is that the? There are so many different Superman shows. Which is the one that I'm not? Which show is the one with the Superman that I'm not attracted to? That I said I don't care for him at all. That's the one. Well, what show is it?
It's Superman and Lois.
Okay, yeah, that's also probably why. Because he doesn't do it for me. I got to be honest.
Okay, but like,
sorry, gang. I'm just saying that there are. I'm just saying nothing. I have reasons. I have reasons for things. Sorry, I just got to be me, gang. I just got to be me.
But anyway, we're gonna go to one more story in regard to this. Apparently, this man keeps cock teasing us with this fucking trailer. And people are asking, like, yo, bro, when's this trailer coming out? And trailer 2.5 soon, ? You haven't even seen trailer 1.0 yet. Only a teaser and a sneak peek. I can't wait to show you guys the trailer. Fucking power move, pussy. Fucking release it today to take away from the fucking Thunderbolts.
That's not even, he doesn't even consider that a trailer? Like, damn. Okay.
Well, it's a teaser trailer. It's different.
I guess, but isn't it still like 2 minutes long? I'm just saying.
Well, sneak peek is the most of it was like a clip movie, but
I mean, I saw it 3 times this week already. But hey, that's cool. Well, then give me
No, you're right, Caleb. Elite ECE and Caleb. James Gunn is edging us. James Gunn is the master of edging people. Yeah, I mean,
and again,
then Jose, what does edging mean? I'm old.
Well, because don't have her look it up. Check on Urban Dictionary. But haven't I been saying
that's what I said? I said look it up on Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the trailer to actually tell us what this movie is going to be about.
He's blue balling us.
He really is, though. So okay,
Monique Rupley. If it's a teaser trailer, then it's a trailer. Shut the fuck up, James.
Right, I mean, honestly. So I'm waiting. Yeah. I'm waiting over here.
We're waiting. The Snyder Cut throws shit at James Gunn all day, every day. One joke about the Snyder Cut is fine, in my opinion. Yeah, no, I agree. But animated series Lois is goated for me. She even gave Bruce Wayne the slide because she knows her worth. Yeah, fucking love. Who doesn't? But yeah, thanks for all your comments, guys. We are loving them. But Monique Rupley, why don't you subscribe? I don't think we've seen you around before. But Nico also in here. So I mean, that kind of smart marketing right there, getting us thirsty for more. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that. But even then, give us the fucking trailer, James. Or, I have my machete. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. No, I wouldn't hurt James Gunn. It's fine. I'm just saying, release the trailer, James. Release it. But, it's just we're fiending, but it is like I kind of agree in that aspect of like, you know, they want to leave us hungry for more and all that. So it's like, okay, but like I also want the fucking trailer yesterday. Like,
well, and again, we want this movie to succeed, and in order to do that, you have to mark the shit out of it, because as we've said time and time again, people are not rushing to the theater anymore to see these films. So for something like this, where you know they're putting a lot on the line for this film to be successful, you need to start putting some more shit out there rather than just your snippets and your sound bites and your quotes. We need some tangible crap playing in between all of our TV shows and newsreels and game shows. And so if that's not the trailer, release the fucking trailer, because then there's typically a second trailer too. So why are we waiting so long for the first trailer when you're very more than likely going to give us a second one anyways? Give us the trailer, James. Give us the trailer.
We got somebody who clicked the bell on Good News.
Thank
Monique
you.
Ripley, thank you very much. We love and appreciate you. But we are winding down now. No comments today. Sorry, guys. We were just kind of not a ton of setup today. But thank you all for watching. We had a lot today. We had, you know, not a lot of DC stuff, a lot of MCU stuff, apparently mainly because of the Thunderbolts. But quite a few quick hits, quite a few news stories. But that's about it. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe like Monique Ripley, and click the bell. So get in the comments if you guys are watching this after the fact. Please comment, because you might be featured on a future episode. And guys, there's 26 of you watching. There's only 15 likes. Come on.
That math ain't mathin'.
Come on. Pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket. Anyway. But yes. Thanks for watching. Lowest nipples?